Far Cry 5 just might be the best Far Cry. And here are the 5 reasons why. What's going on, guys and girls? It's GhostRobo, and before we get started, don't worry, there are no spoilers in this video. We're just going to show trailers and talk overarching themes, ideas, features, and concepts that help make this game click. And it's pretty crazy because early on, I was really worried about Far Cry 5. I'm no mega fan, but I found every entry fun, and I worried that this would be the point that the series really started to falter. Because it seemed like more of the same, albeit in a very mundane location. They were going to take us to a corner of a county in my own country. Gone were the exotic locales, gone were the exciting environments. We were headed to Montana. And yet somehow they have pulled this together to deliver what is quite possibly the tightest Far Cry experience ever. And while I'm not ready to give a final score, I can tell you that I have loved every minute of the game that I've played. And that's why I'm bringing you a list of the 5 reasons this just might be the best Far Cry ever. The first is Montana, that it's grounded. And yes, you could argue that a cult taking over a state in 2018 isn't realistic. Where's the military? How is this possible? I have my own qualms. But if you set those bits aside, it's very crazy how it ups the intensity when you're playing in something as true to life as Far Cry 5. You got this family that wants to not only manipulate and mangle people, but also the land and also the entire ideology of the region. You are fighting in stores, in homes, in churches, and it feels so real. Maybe you don't recognize Montana, but you will feel like you are in modern day America, and for me, that really upped the ante. For a number of reasons, it just doesn't feel as outlandish as being a foreigner thrust into a faraway land and told to kill everyone to save the day. Somehow, they are able to deliver a tighter story in a more true-to-life scenario that hits home and really hooks you straight from the get-go. The second reason is that they have greatly enhanced the flow of Far Cry. They've streamlined the exploration and simplified the upgrades, and it works extremely well. Gone are radio towers. No longer are you constantly climbing to see what you can see. Yeah, there's still a few moments where you will ascend something really tall, but now you open the map via just exploring. There's a fog of war that dissipates as you go out and interact with characters and unlock a whole bunch of quests. It feels far more natural, and you aren't hamstrung behind some annoying and corny event such as climbing a really tall tower. In terms of upgrades, they've gotten rid of the skinning and the harvesting and the resource gathering for upgrades. And while some of that is still in the game, in terms of selling skins for money, in terms of gathering plants for a few consumables, upgrades are now a simple perk system acquired via in-game challenges such as getting so many kills with a certain weapon, or perk magazines, a nice little call out to Fallout. I really like this because a majority of the skill tree is open from the start and you can spec however you want. Some are more expensive, some are less expensive, but you don't feel like you are tied behind gameplay elements that you might not enjoy. There's never a moment where you are stuck having to seek out 3 moose skins because you need a pouch, hold more ammo, or get another gun slot. If you want to carry another weapon, grab those perk points and pick it. If you want to carry another gun for hire, grab those perk points and pick it. You want to be a better swimmer, a quieter sneaker, or get a wingsuit, you can do that as well. All of this helps in moving from moment to moment far more efficiently and far more enjoyably. It removes a lot of the boredom and the monotony and gets you straight to the good stuff, which leads right into reason number 3, the density of this world and the trimming of the fat. It seems like in Hope County, you're constantly running into something cool. And I don't know if they just really upped the ante in terms of their quest design team, or if they just got lucky with a storyline in a scenario that lent itself to awesome missions, but it feels like every second something good is happening. And it's not a distracting encounter with an animal because you need to skin it for some upgrade. We've already established that system has been removed. It's like really cool stuff. You're finding these prepper stashes that are almost environmental riddles. They're simple, but they're still fun to explore. You run into new characters that you can hire and add to your roster. You're constantly finding outposts, except something about them, or maybe it's the story itself, motivates you and makes me want to eliminate these evil Eden's Gate employees. It's just really cool that at every moment, something's happening. It caters to the ADD gamer of 2018 very well, and I feel like they have removed a lot of just the empty moments. Some players may miss the more open-ended wandering because it definitely feels like they've upped the amount of aggressive enemies in the area. I can't even cross the road without getting shot at, and early on I found this pretty annoying, but now I kind of like it. The game is divided into 3 major sections, each controlled by a leading member of the Seed family, heads of the cult that controls the county. Now, whether you are pursuing Jacob, John, or Faith, almost everything you do is filling a meter that will inevitably lead to a showdown with said character. I really like this because it makes my actions feel purposeful, and it makes everything I do visibly and tangibly lead me closer and closer to my goal. Now, none of that would matter if the story and the writing and the characters were weak. But luckily, my 4th reason is that the story and the characters and the writing are very strong. I really am creeped out by the father and his family. Faith, who reminds me so much of Lana Del Rey, delivers an outstanding performance. She is eerie, she is creepy, and the juxtaposition between the religious, happy, spiritual music and the sadistic psycho actions that are taking place, it really does a number on your brain. Sometimes it gives me chills, sometimes it feels super calming, but it's pretty darn cool what they've achieved here. I don't know where the story will finish. I hope they do it justice because the characters and the concepts they've established are actually really neat. And while it doesn't directly correlate to anything specific happening right now, it does feel like something that maybe could happen. And I think that ups the creep factor. I know that's something that they talked about wanting to achieve, and they definitely have. And in general, while they're not as wild as Voss or some of the other Far Cry villains, they are so committed and have such conviction. It sells and comes across so genuine. And that really plays into the intensity and just the brutality of this storyline and of the game itself. The 5th and final reason is detached from the main campaign, but it still should not be ignored. And that is Far Cry Arcade. This is an entirely separate mode where players can create their own levels utilizing assets from Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and elsewhere, and build solo, co-op, or multiplayer experiences that retain the essence of Far Cry, but can feel entirely different. I've played some of the Ubisoft-created levels, and they're actually really cool. Are they earth-shattering? Are they groundbreaking? No. And they're probably not even as good as a mainline campaign mission, but they're good enough that I enjoyed each that I played. They have variety, and they utilize the same doggone great Far Cry control scheme. And I think that's why Far Cry Arcade works so well, because the controls and the gameplay loop and the gunplay are so polished in Far Cry. It feels great to wield almost every weapon. They've even incorporated flying this time around, and that feels natural. They just nail the hands on the controller experience, and it's evidenced when you're trying these weird levels in Far Cry Arcade. I'm definitely not one to make my own, but I'm super excited to see what others make and how intricate they can get, especially with the different objective types and what you can make a player do within a level. All in all, Far Cry 5 is outstanding because of the grounded storyline and setting, because of the flow, the simplified upgrades, the streamlined exploration, the density and the trimming of the fat, the writing, the storyline, the characters, and this whole new Far Cry Arcade that is the best side mode I think Far Cry has had yet. I love the game. I hope you give it a shot. If you were turned off by the more mundane setting, don't be, because they have delivered something really creepy, really intense, really true to life, and really top tier. Far Cry 5 is awesome. It just might be the best Far Cry, and I want to know what your thoughts are. So let me know your take in the comments down below, whether you agree or disagree that this could go down as the best Far Cry yet. I'm very curious to see the overall community consensus when all is said and done, if this will be held up as an absolutely awesome Far Cry or just an average entry. But in the meantime, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you're excited to either play the game or watch the game. I think it's really special. I'm going to get back to playing it right now. You guys have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. Drink some hot chocolate. And until next time, everybody, we will see you all later.